do so well defensively today to allow a limited number of shots like that?
Well, I thought we had good gaps, we had good angles, we had a good reload, all the things that you talk about, and you know, if you play good defense, you'll get some offense out of it, and we did. I mean, we created lots of chances. You know, obviously we got the first goal on the power play, which was key, and then you know, a real good play through the neutral zone and a good forecheck and this outstanding goal by Jordan gives 2-0, and then we buckled down, did a real good job. You know, in all three zones, and everything's connected. So we did. I thought we played extremely well, and then obviously they got the late power play. We were able to connect on that and come back and score a minute later. And you know, you play so well for so long, and then something like that happens that can really test your mettle and your character. And I thought we responded really well, because I know leaving after going to the dressing room after the second period, you probably could hear a pin drop in this building. And I think our team's grown and learned from the last couple of years. So we went into that going, hey, we did so many good things in the first two periods that let's not ignore that at all. And we did that in the third. And you know, that we score and go ahead, and they come back and it tests you again. You're going, boy, you're real tough. And then you know, Fish gets a goal, and then of all things, we get a penalty, our power play the last 2 minutes, and maybe we exercise a little ghost there. So I know everybody, you guys were thinking that too. Are you kidding me? You know, you guys were all ready to write the story. And but we talked about that. We've talked about that last year. We talked about it this year. We talked about it in many different situations, and we handled it well. We handled it well, and then. You know, they pulled their goalie at the end for 20 seconds, and you know, we had one. I think Shea got his stick sawed in half with Solani on the forecheck, chopping him there, and then you know, all of a sudden you're 6-on-4. But we did a real good job, and we got through that. And to me, in some ways, you know, as I said to the guys, I said, you know, you always get tested a lot of different ways, and it might have been the best thing that could happen, is that we came out and had to battle to the end, and it sort of seems to be the Predator way. So.
Fisher, game-winning goal. We've talked a lot about just him in the playoffs. I mean, does he just keep finding new ways to impress you?
Hey, I mean, you know, Fish is a guy that when we got him, you know, he's been through the wars. He's a strong two-way centerman, and you know, he can play in all situations. And you know, he's proving why ownership allowed us to go get him. And as I said in previous interviews, and we don't even make the playoffs without the Mike Fisher move. So, you know, with all the injuries we had at Center Ice this year, that probably doesn't happen. And you know, he's playing well right now for us. But we have a lot of guys playing well. There's no question we've got everybody's all invested.
Very crucial to take advantage of these two games with Ryan suspended.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they got lots of character, and just like anything, when we've had injuries, there's people on the other side that are going to step up. There's people on the other side that are going to grab a little more weight and pull the load along. So, you know, you want to take that advantage of that, because he's a tremendous young player in this league, and so you know, we got the win, and. We just got to reset for Wednesday now.
Fisher fighting with Getzlaff catch you off guard at that point in the game, or are you okay with that?
Well, I didn't even see how it started. So when they started fighting, it caught me off guard, because Fish doesn't. I don't think he fights a lot, but when he does just fine. And you know, Getzlaff, he's a solid two-way guy that. He doesn't mind getting mixed up with players, so nothing. It's playoffs, nothing really. I mean, you talk about the last, you know, 2 minutes of the second period. That had a lot more effect than Fisher fighting Getzlaff, for me, anyways.
Right. Barry, kind of in the same vein, what David asked earlier. You guys give up 16 shots. They score 3 goals. indicative of their offense, of how dynamic they are, and the importance of you limiting their shots?
Well, it's part of it. They're a quick strike team, and they've got some funny goals this series, and you're playing really well, and they got one off the backboards. They got one, where we should have had it cleared. You got our pocket picked a little bit, and then I think the third one it bounced off about 8 guys to the net, but they throw pucks there, good things can happen. Same thing with us. We created a few goals off the forecheck, created a couple off the cycles and rushes, and put a lot of pressure on them. So.
The team has converted power play goal in each of the last 3 games. So what are you guys doing differently out there to be able to convert those?
Well, I just think there's more commitment on guys trying to go to those hard areas in the playoffs, and that's a lot of times you see the same penalty killers all the time, and they're seeing the same power play. So we got to make little adjustments every game, and we have certain things that they're trying to adjust. We're trying to pick up on them, and the guys are doing a real good job. So, and then the execution part, you're getting to those loose pucks and you're sticking them in the net. So that's real key.
So far, the magic number seems to be 4. You get to 4 goals in the series, you win. Is that being played at a pace that you're comfortable with?
Our magic number for the last 11 years has been 3. So, but 4 is a good number. I got 4 kids. 4 plays a big part in my life. So, if it's 4, it's 4.
Solani certainly doesn't look like he's 40 years old.
Yeah,
when he's out there.
He's. Tamo. I was a coach at the University of Manitoba. That's a long time ago. They had the Winnipeg Jets there, and I got the chance to watch Tamo Solani there. Now he's still playing, and it's amazing how he's got a goal scorer's instinct. He's still got that dynamic speed, and he's just a wonderful athlete. I mean, if you have someone representing what a NHL player should be, Tamo is all that. I mean, I know he's involved in the community. He's got a vibrant personality, and he's still a dynamic player at 40. And you talk about a guy that's been fantastic for the game, and he will definitely be in the Hall of Fame and a Gold Star Hall of Famer.
I guess you could say it's been a challenging year at times for Jordan, 2-2. It sounded like after that goal, the fans really took an extra moment to kind of appreciate that moment for him. What do you think it meant for him, just overall, to kind of encapsulate everything?
I think it's huge for him. The young man in his life has come from a very obscure upbringing, if you will. Not too many guys have come from Rankin Inlet and make it to the National Hockey League, and some of the tragic things that have happened in his life. The expectations, the microscope that Jordan's sort of under, and the expectations from other people, and the pressures. He had to make a decision, a little bit of a life decision on where he wanted to go, and he made an outstanding decision, because it's hard to have your game in order when your life's not in order. And he recognized that, and that just shows his maturity. And he's got his life in order, and he's been a different player since he's come back. He's very, he's still hard. He's still disciplined, more so now than ever. But his hockey game, the things that he was a good junior, that showed some offense and some skill, and that those are all sort of coming together. And I think he enjoys that, because that's, he's got the pressure of being a role model for his people, I guess, and people in those situations coming from way up north. And what better role model, because there's a lot of tragedy in some of the things that happen, and he's dealing with it the right way.
Barry, 2 real quick.
Sure.
We've seen several times this year, you guys get a nice lead only to lose it in the third period. Was there a sense in the locker room between the second and third period that was not going to happen this time?
Yeah, we had a calmness in our room. I'm sure there was a little bit of uneasiness, just like there was. I mean, players can feed off what they, you know, even the fans. I mean, the fans are probably a little uneasy, so we have to fight through that mentally a little bit, and the guys did a good job. You know, it's just like we can feed off the fans when they're that late timeout when they stand up and cheer. I mean, that can give you a real boost. So we felt, hey, this is going to be a test. This is going to test our character. This is going to test us in a lot of ways, and we've talked about it all year, about handling different things, and we have been, I'll say, very resilient all year with all the injuries and all of the things that have happened, and we've stayed relentless in what we want to do, and that's a credit to the guys in the room.
Not a lot of smiles in that locker room. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I think you know, we won a hockey game. We've got lots of unfinished business yet, so that's good.
Barry, along those lines, if you're trying to exercise old demons, 2-1 lead at home, a lot like last year, does a team or a franchise learn from one year to the next?
I think it all depends on your group. It all depends on the situation. Yeah, you do. I mean, you know yourself. You've been in this business a long time,
Yes, sir.
and you've learned a lot of things. And you know, it's no different than when I started out as a coach. I thought I knew everything, and I found out how little I did know. And sometimes you've got to have, you better get kicked in some of the places you don't want to get kicked before you sort of realize that, you know, hey, I got to do this, and if I do this, I'll be successful. So, you know, I don't know if we exercised anything, but it was a character test, you know, because there's a lot of negative thoughts come from, you know, last year. Well, that's a pretty positive thought that came out of that ending. Power play, we made good decisions. They got their goalie out last 20, and we handled it just fine. And to me, that, you know, I said it might have been the best thing for our hockey club.
Solani and Corvu has had great success against the Preds this year. Why have they stood out?
Oh, they're both, you know, they're dynamic guys. I mean, they have speed. They can make plays. You know, they've played together in a lot of different venues, not only in Anaheim, but they played in the World Championships, they played in the Olympics together, World Cups, all the things that, so they've got a real good understanding. I mean, they're real good on the rush. They look for second waves. They can make quick plays. You know, they'll put area passes and skate into them. They do all those very mature, smart things that real good hockey players do. All right.
Thank you.